Right now, amid a major teen mental health crisis, more and more teens are turning to TikTok for advice and self-diagnosing, and it's a move that can be dangerous. Local professor has made it her mission to battle misinformation on the social media platform, debunking one faulty mental health video at a time. Well, she now has 36 million views herself and more than 1 million followers. Dr. Ina Kanevsky is a professor of psychology at San Diego Mesa College. She's joining us right here on the floor. First of all, thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Kanevsky. We appreciate your time.
Of course.
Well, let's just jump right into this. First of all, I was looking at some statistics. The majority of TikTok users are women between the ages of 18 and 24. What made you decide to step into this space?
My child. I have a daughter who was on TikTok, and I was seeing her do her stuff, and then she wanted some educational background behind some of the things that she was saying, and that's how I got in.
So you stepped into this space. Within a couple of years, you have more than 1 million people following you. And one of your main missions is to take a look at what people are posting when it comes to the world of mental health and either give your stamp of approval or say this is absolutely not correct.
Yes, and it's really social media is where teens turn into because it's kind of hard to get mental health help. As you know, it's difficult to go through the process, it's difficult to get approvals, and so they find somebody who has similar issues, but they often don't find the difference between their issue and somebody else's. And it's all about finding relatable content, which may not be accurate.
And that's scary. That can be downright scary. In fact, let me just run through a couple of statistics that we found in researching this. The hashtag mental health has been searched 67 billion times on TikTok. What does that tell you?
It tells me that it's a place to go. And it's now becoming a lot more of a search engine for teens. We know that even Google is concerned about this, that they're going there to look for information. And what they're finding is not always going to be accurate, because you can put a hashtag on anything. It doesn't have to be true.
So the Center for Countering Digital Hate did a study, and they found that TikTok pushes potentially harmful content every 39 seconds. So we're realizing that the audience on TikTok can be very vulnerable if they are 67 billion times looking at mental health. And now we're realizing that this particular app may be pushing harmful content at them. What do you want people to know whose children or maybe themselves are on this site?
I would say don't hide from it. I know a lot of people like to say, oh, I am not on TikTok, this is for kids. It's not for kids. By the way, over half of TikTok users now are over 35. So it's kind of growing. And if we hide and pretend that we don't want to know about it, we just aren't aware what's going on. We aren't aware what they're seeing. We cannot have conversations with them about it. So I tell this to my fellow professors. I tell this to my fellow parents. We need to know what information is out there, and we need to teach them media literacy. We need to teach them how to check, how to verify, what are the trusted sources.
How do you do that? How do you suggest people do that?
So I actually have playlists on my TikTok that show people how to do what I do, how to fact check information, what sources are trustworthy. That just looking at the first few things you find on Google is not a good idea. That blogs or BuzzFeed are not necessarily the best sources of information, because a lot of times that's what gets repeated on TikTok. And just because you can relate to something doesn't mean that that defines what your problem is.
Right. And one of the things that, sadly, another thing that people are widely looking at on TikTok is suicidal ideation. If you're a parent and you happen to come across that your kid has searched that, what do you do?
So TikTok doesn't actually let people use certain words. It shuts down those videos. That's their solution. So you cannot actually talk about murder, suicide, death, kill. People come up with all kinds of workarounds for that and still talk about it. It still happens, and so you need to talk to kids about the fact that that's out there and it's going to be discussed, and you're going to maybe sometimes unexpectedly stumble into it. And we need to really know that they have somebody to go to.
Yeah, they need one trusted person to go to, especially if they're feeling unsafe.
Somebody who is not online, somebody who is real.
Right, there you go, and there is the bottom line right there. Dr. Ina Kanevsky, San Diego, I should say Mesa College professor. You're still teaching classes now?
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, we'll have to come check you out. I know that 1 million followers on TikTok.
I teach 4 classes online. People can sign up.
All right, there you go. And then you can actually have a real person as your source for all of this. Thank you.